Alright class, today we're going to be using the famous best-selling manga series One Piece to demonstrate how to use conversion. And by using conversion, I can show you how much weight Luffy can carry. First off, what is conversion and why am I using it? Well, just like One Piece, the world is enormous, with many different cultures. This includes language differences, currencies, and units of measurements in the world. For example, most of the world uses Celsius, and for some reason, us fellow Americans use Fahrenheit to measure temperature. Different numbers, but those numbers say the same thing. With these examples, freezing temps is 0 degrees Celsius and 32 degrees in Fahrenheit, which is a good reminder for some of you who play Phasmophobia. Conversion is the process which helps translate one unit of measurement to another, like Japanese yen to American dollars or to the euro. You can also use conversion to help compare and contrast for scaling purposes, which is what I'm going to use. Alright, back to the topic of One Piece. How do we measure how much he can lift? Well, relatively early, and I use this term loosely, onto the series, Luffy gets a golden ball attached to his arm. We could use conversion to find out how heavy this ball weighs. Why am I doing this? Well, it's actually a pretty simple calculation done in the power scaling community in the One Piece fandom. But more importantly, I just wanted to make a One Piece video. So this is my game plan. Ultimately, the goal is to find out the weight of the giant golden ball. Logically speaking, we know with bigger objects, they weigh heavier. So to find out how heavy the ball is, I simply need to find out how large it is. From there, I can find the volume of the ball, simply by finding the radius or the height. But here's the thing, I don't even have any official numbers or anything on the ball's volume, or even its radius. But there are official numbers on how tall Luffy is, and I can use that to my advantage. I can compare his height to the ball's, and roughly figure that out, starting the entire process. Reading the later parts of Skypeia, I think this page is a good reference. On chapter 294, it shows both Luffy and the golden ball, making it easy to compare the two. Luffy is 5'7", or more specifically, 172 centimeters. As much as I love how the United States has their own units for some reason, just to make it easier on myself and you, I'll keep it as centimeters. I'll be using my computer's pixels to measure Luffy, who is 129 pixels tall, and using the same method, the ball is 363 pixels tall. And before I proceed, I want to make something clear. I'm lazy as hell. I'm going to do a lot of approximating. It's going to be a lot of numbers and digits, and I don't feel like saying each digit just to get a 10 or 2 difference. There are two methods to find the height of the ball. The first method is to find out how tall something is in centimeters per pixel. Just by eyeballing it, I would say 1 pixel is about 1.3 centimeters. The other method is just to find out the ball's height, relative to Luffy, and I'm going to be using this method. Using fractions, I'm going to be using the ball's height as the numerator and Luffy's height as the denominator. Using this answer, I found out the ball is, yeah, screw it, 2.81 times taller than Luffy. So being 2.81 times taller than 172 centimeters, then the ball is approximately 483.32 centimeters. Now the height is not enough. I want to find the volume of the ball. The equation of a sphere is simply 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Luckily, the equation of a sphere only requires the radius, which we can get from half the ball's height. Cutting the height in half, I find out the radius is 241.66 centimeters. Now that I know the radius, I got the only requirement that I need for the volume. Just plug in the radius to the equation, and now we know the volume of the ball is a little over 59 million centimeters cubed. Now it's time for the weight. You might have seen a video about the kilogram of metal versus a kilogram of feathers. Well, gold is a pretty heavy metal, and this ball has a lot of it. We need literally tons of feathers to measure up to this thing. Using the power of the internet, gold is 19.32 grams per cubic centimeters. With some simple multiplication, I can find the weight of the entire golden ball. And finally, our answer. At a whopping of 1.142 billion grams, or 1,142 metric tons. That's extremely heavy. It's similar to carrying a giant cargo ship, especially considering how he ran through an entire island for several kilometers. He's a shonen MC, but my god, he is crazy strong, especially early on to the series. Endnotes. Conversion may not be a college level math concept, but I wanted my videos to focus more on simplicity and applicability. I also love One Piece, and it took me a bit to find out what kind of math to combine it with. I mean, this was always a thing on the power scaling community, but I also wanted to try my hand on it. It'll always be a bit different though. Some people will use different scenes to scale the ball. Oda may be a god at writing manga, but even he's human enough that not every ball is at the same scale for every panel it's in. Also, this isn't the real way to find out the volume of the ball, since Luffy's hand goes through it. I could figure it out, but that's multivariable calculus, and I don't think weebs have enough time to go through an abridged version of Calculus 1 and Calculus 2. Maybe one day when I get better at this content creation thing. But until then, please like and subscribe, especially if you like content like this. The next one will be an interesting video about Pokemon.